Everyone keeps firing these bums. So Gen Zers keep on getting thrown out of the workforce and soon they will be thrown out of society. Today's video comes from the infographic show. Their channel will be linked in the description so that you can go and check them out. Watch the end of the video to fully understand the implications of Gen Z being thrown out of society and what that means for all of us. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble. You never really know what can happen on this platform, so please go ahead and follow us on Rumble. Our Rumble is linked in the description of the video. And guys, I just want to tell you a little bit about crypto trading for dummies blueprint, which is available in Angry's Crypto Academy. With this blueprint, you'll learn how crypto day trading can help you earn daily profits, even starting small. Imagine making $30 a day with $100 or even hundreds daily, day trading small amounts, working just an hour a day. It's written so simple that even a fifth grader can do it. Yes, even a fifth grader, that means you. With banks collapsing and the economy in chaos, this skill is your lifeline. Click the link in the description to check it out now. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. It's pretty crazy what's going on here. It is absolutely crazy what's going on here with Gen Z. These little muffins, these bad little muffins, and I think they enjoy when I call them muffins, you know, they are out of control. Let's be real about something very quickly. Like, it's the video started off with Gen Z saying, "Hey fam." Gen Z's slang is nothing more than Ebonics for white kids. So let's just go ahead and establish that right now. Okay? That these people don't know how to act and they don't know how to speak properly. Okay? Uh it's unbelievable, but it is a reality that we have to confront and it's a reality that we have to accept. Gen Z is a serious problem in society today. And they're not going to change. Their personalities, guys, the worst of Gen Z are now in their late 20s. I want you to think about that. They're almost 30 years old. Okay, you have to remember that a part of Gen Z have not even graduated from college yet. Almost half, well, it's a lot. I wouldn't say almost half of them, but it's so many at this point. A good portion of them have not even haven't graduated from college or high school yet, while about half or maybe a little bit more than half are now in the workforce. And these scumbags are not doing well there. It's the actual oldest of Gen Z that are doing the worst. All right. Now, when you consider that the oldest of Gen Z are doing the worst in the workforce, that doesn't say, guys, usually it gets worse as they get younger. So if the oldest is this bad, how bad do you think the younger members of Gen Z are going to be? Okay. The truth of the matter is that when the millennials were first entering into the workforce, they were bullied. They said that they were weak, they were coddled too much. But the thing is that millennials actually understood workplace etiquette. They knew how to write emails. They actually had these skill sets. When I entered into the workforce, I'm a Zennial. There were no millennials in the workforce. It was just me and Gen Xers, and those are the same people that I went to college with. Zennials are late Gen Xers. But the thing is that when it comes to Gen Z, you realize that Gen Z is a very different group of people. It's not that they were coddled too much, it's just that they grew up with social media and seeing and believing that they deserve everything and don't really have to work for anything. No one should ever, and when I say, I'll say it again, no one should ever grow up the way that that the children of the boomers grew up. Well, there's some Gen Xers who laugh about it and say, "Man, I had so much fun back in the day." This is one of the reasons why they don't even want their kids going outside, why they're always panicking, because they know exactly what they did. They know, guys, there's so many things I did growing up. I shouldn't be here right now. That's nothing special. That's Gen X. All right, guys. Like, I mean, I could have drowned. And it's a normal thing. Like, I remember being pinned against a pier. Like, I went out in like a storm with a bunch of kids. and I got pinned against the pier, and I could have died if I didn't. The water pinned me against the pier, and this is just a normal Gen X story, okay? Like, bro, you just don't know the stories of Gen X. It's insanity, insanity. Oh my gosh. So a lot of Gen Xers are more protective of their kids because they don't want their kids to basically experience the lives that they lived, which were extremely dangerous in many cases. It's so crazy because, like, even when you talk about unwanted snuggling, if you get what I'm hinting at, I'm not gonna lie. There were a lot of young ladies who basically ended up, being involved in situations of unwanted snuggling in the 80s. It was such a widespread thing that they just kind of made it a comical thing in movies. If you ever watch a movie called Heathers, there's a scene in the movie where, there's a person, in the young lady who's in a situation where she's being unwantedly snuggled. And you know, it's it's basically kind of made comical, like, oh, okay, like no one cares, and it's like this is just how it was back then, right? And it's crazy because, like, a lot of that's how hypocritical Me Too is. The people who are getting Me Too'd are not the people who actually were doing the whole involved in the whole unwanted snuggling thing. Those are the people who did unwanted snuggling. They went free. Women, most women today don't talk about that. They're going after the guys with money. Okay, you think Chad and Tyrone, who did this stuff back then, are in prison? No, they're not. Absolutely not. Women don't care about those broke boys because they have nothing to gain. No, it's the guys with money that they're going after. So you have a lot of parents who went through that, a lot of mothers who experienced things like that, a lot of fathers who were the ones doing those things. So mom and dad are like, mom's like, I got unwanted snuggling when I was growing up. No way I'm gonna let my daughter go out there. Dad's like, yeah, I did a lot of unwanted snuggling when I was growing up. I'm definitely not gonna let my daughter go out there and run into someone like me. I'm just being real. So when you look at it like that, you end up with overprotective parents. And it's hard to say that, but it's a reality. Gen X did the best they could when it came to raising their kids, but unfortunately, it just was not enough. Boomers are out here trying to boast and say, well, look how well our kids turned out. How bad we couldn't be that bad of a parents if our kids turned out basically I often say Gen X raised themselves. Older Gen Xers often say, and when I say this, older Gen Xers basically say we raised each other. It's crazy. It's so crazy. I'm not gonna lie. When I look back at things now, it's like I think about it and, like, what would I do if I had to go back in time? My father was so terrible. He used to throw hands, and it was hard on me. But now I think about what he did to me, and I realize, wait a minute, angry. If you went back in time and you have all the memories that you have now as an adult, you could deal with him. For example, you can just call the cops and have him arrested. You wouldn't have to deal with any of that. You have all of this knowledge that you acquired as an adult. You know how the system works. You know what to do. You know where to go. You have social skills now. You have interpersonal skills. You have emotional intelligence, EQ. You can read people, and as such, I don't want to say manipulate, but you can use that to your advantage. So yeah, I would call the cops and have them take my father out, and then he could feel what it's like to have hands thrown, you know because because as an adult also, now I know what they do to those types of people in prison. So he would basically, there would be something waiting for him there would be something waiting for him in prison. you know I don't really care who, but who or what, big black guy, big white guy, big Hispanic guy, little Hispanic guy, I don't care who, but there would be somebody waiting for him in prison. And he would basically he would get his discipline. He would get his discipline. But Gen Z is just a generation of very pathetic individuals who were born with a gold spoon or silver spoon in their mouths and did not do the best that they could. In fact, they're taking advantage of us, of the situation and taking advantage of everyone around them. It's needless to say they're a bunch of punks. And they're being fired because they have very, very bad personalities. They're lazy and they also have bad hygiene. These are just a few of the reasons why Gen Z is being thrown out of the workforce. And let me make it clear, because I don't want anyone to get it twisted. They are absolutely being thrown out of the workforce because they are miserable little jerks. Yes, I said it. Ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now. Very clear also. So the infographics show they make a huge mistake regarding Gen Z and the kinds of games that Gen Z enjoys. The kinds of games that Gen Z likes to play actually differ greatly from the kinds of games that millennials, Gen Xers, and even some baby boomers play. Because I do know some baby boomers who play games. Funny enough. But Gen Z does not like these kinds of games. So you're less likely to find a Gen Zer playing a real time strategy. I'm not saying that they don't, but they are less likely to play real time strategy games. They're less likely to play RPGs that have very intuitive and deep systems. The kinds of games that Gen Z focuses on are games like Fortnite, specifically Fortnite. In fact, that is one of the only games that they often play. Even games like Grand Theft Auto 5 is a game that Gen Z may or may not play because it may require too much work or too much investment. But and I know you're like, what, GTA 5? Yeah, there are some Gen Zers who do play GTA, but most of them stick to games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, and so forth in that sequence. They are not very well involved, and they're also not very good at being team players. They're a miserable group of people, and as a result of that, it creates a lot of problems. They are not really very good at working together unless it comes down to committing crime. Oh God, where did we go wrong? It's not that it has nothing to do with giving Gen Z a phone. Yes, we did definitely let them spend way too much time on the tablets, on the iPads, because they're basically iPad kids terrorizing society, tablet kids terrorizing society. But the biggest problem was social media and their exposure to social media It damaged them severely, and also exposure to adult content on the web. That also damaged them. TikTok has been nothing but cancer for Gen Z as it's destroyed their attention span. And that was a large part of their childhood. Applications like TikTok and Snapchat and so forth, where it was kind of like they were getting constant hits of dopamine. Even with the oldest of Gen Z, who got on Facebook, they started off with the whole likes thing and getting constant hits of dopamine when people would like their posts. And of course, then they transitioned over to Snap and TikTok and these other applications, and they began, getting tons and tons of dopamine hits from short form video content. Something that many of you don't know is, I'm a YouTube content creator, and when you watch a video, me and versus when I watch a video, we're watching two different videos. Okay, you're watching a video and it just looks normal to you. I'm watching a video and I'm looking at all the different cuts. So, for example, how quickly they transition from one thing to another thing to another thing, things that happen at the beginning of the video. How many times do they change scenes in the same sequence. So, for example, they're discussing something and they're changing scenes multiple times. All of this is deliberate because it's designed to give you dopamine hits. Like, it's designed to keep it's designed to take advantage of your poor attention span. Because if you're like, for example, you're watching someone talk about a different subject and then the camera shifts to another angle. That's deliberate because by shifting the camera constantly, it keeps you locked in and wanting to hear what the person says next. If you're just listening to the person speak continuously, then you're less likely to remain engaged. It's If you're watching a compilation video, you're more likely to remain engaged by watching only a small portion of one video and then going to the next video very quickly because you only have around a 15-second attention span. That's how Gen Z is today. And it's a lot of these factors that have resulted in them becoming, absolute little idiots and creeps.
Now,
I mean, guys, this is the situation we're actually in. Gen Z are not very bright and they are quite lazy. The issue is not the video games. It's because, for example, a lot of doctors play video games, and they've done studies and they've found that doctors who play video games, surgeons who play video games, perform significantly better when doing operations than surgeons who don't. Even Elon Musk has talked about it, that people who play video games tend to have superior problem solving skills. The problem is that it does not translate for the average Gen Zer, because the average Gen Zer is not very bright. They are lazy and they just want to play games where they can shoot things. All right? This is how they operate. They are very corrupt, they are very lazy, and they're frankly not very nice to be around. Gen Zers are not very nice people. Like, we don't even have to dance around the subject and play with the subject. Gen Zers are not very nice people. They're not very trustworthy people. These are the type of people that say things like, "Oh, well, if they paid us right, we wouldn't steal from them. Like, we wouldn't steal from our employers if they paid us a livable wage. We wouldn't have to steal from them." What? If you don't like your employer, you just quit. No, I'm gonna get what I'm supposed to before I go. They're pests. These are people of low value, low character. All right, you don't. I don't know. I really, really just don't know. These bad muffins, they piss me off. They piss me off so bad. They rub me the wrong way. I'm just so glad that TikTok has finally been banned, and hopefully it stays banned. The problem is that these little socialist, communist, Marxist lovers are already moving over to other Chinese apps. Guys, we can't send these bad muffins to fight in any WARs. What they will do is they'll go and join the enemy. Okay? Literally out here like, ni hao, get the hell out of here, bro. These are bad little muffins. Just like the boomers were bad apples, Gen Zers are bad little muffins. And I don't even know how the heck they made it out of the oven, if you get what I mean. They're terrible. They're terrible, 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 terrible. And it's not going to get any better for any of us. We have to understand that We need to make preparations for old age to take care of ourselves in old age because no one is going to take care of us. Gen Z, they're already looking for the retirement home. These muffins want to head off to the retirement home and basically just chill in there, play Fortnite, Call of Duty, and have someone wipe their butts for them. I'm not exaggerating. All right. They would see that as lit. All right. Free food, someone's cleaning up after them. They can just chill and do nothing, eat, sleep, drink, get drunk, smoke weed, fart, do it all again the next day. What's not to like? What's not to like? That's why I said you can't really like they're many of they're headed to prison. Like the prisons are the jails and prisons are gonna be filled with them in the coming decade. But the thing is, like they you send them to prison, or you incarcerate them, and again all they're gonna do is eat, sleep, drink, get drunk, use drugs, play games, get laid, fart, and then do it all again the next day. You know, they're just gonna have a good time. That's who they are. They're bad little muffins. They're not gonna learn anything. Some of you have suggested that that's why we need hard labor. They need to be given hard labor so they learn something. But it's like you're still between a rock and a hard. We're still between a rock and a hard place. Still between a rock and a hard place with these muffins. One way or another, it's just not working out with them. Well, anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this. Everyone keeps firing these bums. Do you agree that it's not going to get better? It's only going to get worse. And this is like the best it's going to get with Gen Z. We're actually in the golden era of Gen Z right now because it's going to get so bad like that. Like right now, they're going to go into their full blown hippie era soon, and that's where they're going. When they can't live with their parents anymore and they're completely broke, that's when they're going to start stealing and squatting because they're going to be a generation they're going to be a generation that of stealers and squatters because and they're going to be and perpetually homeless. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.